Hours after Trump said he'd slap more tariffs on Canada, Ontario's Reagan ad airs again during the World Series. Television viewers of the World Series again saw Ontario's ad featuring former President Ronald Reagan. On Friday, Premier Doug Ford said the ad would stop playing in the U.S. on Monday, October 27. On Saturday, hours before the ad played, President Donald Trump said impose more tariffs on Canada. The Canadian advertisement that irritated President Donald Trump so much that he put trade talks on ice has aired not once, but twice at the World Series. The anti-tariff ad featuring former U.S. President Ronald Reagan is the latest flashpoint in trade tensions between the U.S. and Canada. The ad, championed by Ontario's Premier, Doug Ford, was released on October 16. It received the full blast of Trump's ire a week later. On October 23, Trump took to Truth Social to say he was terminating all trade negotiations with Canada over it. On Friday, Ontario announced the ad would be pulled on Monday. However, it still aired during Friday and Saturday's World Series games. Trump said on Truth Social on Saturday that he was adding an additional 10% tariff on Canadian goods. Games 1 and 2 of the World Series, between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers, were played in Canada. The Blue Jays took Game 1 on Friday, dominating with an 11-4 victory, while the Dodgers won 5-1 in Game 2. Shridia Jandiala, an associate professor at the Essex Business School, told Business Insider the Canadian government has set a goal of doubling non-US exports over the next decade and is beginning to re-engage with India and China. There is growing emphasis on diversifying markets and trading relationships, which would buffer against risk, said Jandiala. For an individual exporter, the challenge is to find new customers in markets where they have previously not had partnerships, customers, or relationships. The U.S.-Canada relationship has seen a rocky year. A Canadian boycott against U.S. goods began after Trump slapped a 25% tariff on nearly all imports, from lumber to auto parts, from the longtime ally early in the year. Canada retaliated with equal reciprocal tariffs. After a few pauses and starts, Trump increased the tariff on Canada to 35% in August for all goods not covered by the USMCA trade agreement, such as agricultural and wood products, and to 50% on steel and aluminum imports from Canada as of June. In September, Canada lifted its retaliatory tariffs, except for those on steel, aluminum, and auto imports. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Business Insider.